Some pretty big news is starting to break concerning Alphonso Davies joining Real Madrid because according to a couple of pretty big and credible outlets, the deal is practically done and he will sign a pre-contract in the January window to join Real Madrid at the end of the season. And if this is true, this is one of the biggest signings that will happen in the summer because Alphonso Davies is considered one of the best left backs in world football. Now, Real Madrid have been chasing this player for quite some time, right? We saw that the club wanted him last summer. They tried to negotiate with Bayern Munich. Bayern refused to negotiate, and now it looks like they're going to lose him for free. And I think this is a great signing for the club. I know a lot of people aren't happy with Ferland Mendy, and they think maybe it's time for a new left back to come in. And I think Alphonso Davies is the perfect left back if you want to have two of them in the squad. Because you got Ferland Mendy, who's very defensive, and then you got Alphonso Davies, whose best qualities is going forward on the ball. Now, let's talk about pride, chat. Because Bayern Munich have just lost one of their most valuable players for nothing because they refused to just get a deal done last summer, right? And the reason why I'm saying pride is because Bayern Munich, they're used to going and bullying teams for their best players, right? This is why we don't rate the Bundesliga, because Bayern Munich just take everybody's best players. Like, that's just how it usually goes. They are the big fish in a small pond. But now that another big fish in Real Madrid have entered that same pond, Bayern Munich's feelings got hurt. And instead of them getting maybe 40 million last summer, and then they could have used that money to invest in another left back, they decided to keep a player that was rejecting contract offers. See, I always tell you, chat, clubs should never keep a player that's not willing to sign a new deal. I always use the analogy. If you got a girlfriend, and if she tells you that she wants to go date other men, and she wants to leave, are you going to beg her to stay by throwing her more money or buying her gifts? No, you let her go. And that's what Alphonso Davies did to Bayern Munich. He told them, yo, I don't really want to stay here. I want to talk to other clubs. I want to see what Real Madrid might offer me. Instead of just getting a deal done, now they're about to lose him for free. And I do like Alphonso Davies. I know that his weaknesses are defensive, which is kind of a problem, right, for a left back. But Alphonso Davies is more of these modern day fullbacks. He's very good going forward, but in 1v1 defending, it is a bit shaky, right? And that's why I'm saying that having him and Ferland Mendy, they perfectly complement each other and they add something different to the team. It's a change of pace. Now, what sucks is if Alphonso Davies does come into the squad, right, Fran Garcia is cooked. I do not see him staying at the club unless he's cool with being the third choice left back, and then he's going to rarely play unless we get some injuries. So his future is a bit shaky at the moment. But I think Ferland, Mendy, and Davies, bro, I would like to have those two left backs to rotate with. And I think Alphonso Davies as a free signing is fantastic business, right? I think in La Liga especially, he will cook, right? La Liga is a slower league where, usually players are a bit more technical. But now you have the pace and power that Alphonso Davies is going to be providing you on the left. Can you imagine on that left wing, Alphonso Davies overlapping Vinicius? Oh my goodness. I remember last season when we played Bayern Munich and Champions League semifinal, and Alphonso Davies didn't start because he was dealing with an injury. And I remember the game at the Bernabéu, the one where we beat them because Joselu scored 2 goals at the end of the game, right? Legendary cameo by him, by the way. But I remember Alphonso Davies was not starting that game because he was dealing with an injury, right? And then Serge Gnabry got injured in the first half, and they subbed on Alphonso Davies at left wing. And he cooked Rudiger and scored an absolute screamer at the Bernabéu. Look, in a Champions League game, Bayern Munich subbed him on as a left winger. Again, all his best skill sets is going forward. He's a good crosser. He has a good shot on him. Defensively, again, we saw when Bayern Munich played Barcelona the other week, he was getting cooked by Lamine Yamal. That is something that does worry me. And I think maybe he is a player that would be best in a back three, right? We know that there's links that Xabi Alonso will be our next manager. So if you go out there and bring in a manager that will use Alphonso Davies as a wingback, I think that can work a little bit better. But he's a player that I think a lot of clubs around Europe should be trying to sign, because even though they're saying it's practically a done deal, it's still not confirmed yet, right? I saw Fabrizio Romano put up a quote from Alphonso Davies' agent that said there's no deal in place with any team, right? There is still a possibility that he can extend his contract with Bayern Munich, right? I think if they're able to win major trophies this season, which they probably will, right? They'll probably win the Bundesliga. They'll probably go deep in the Champions League as well. There is a possibility that he does extend his deal. But as of now, he's rejecting those contracts, right? I'm waiting until I see Fabrizio put out the "here we go" before I really get into depth with it. But Marca, Relevo, they are big Spanish outlets, and they do have sources as well, right? Fabrizio is usually the guy that once he says something, everybody's like, all right, bet, this is what's going on. But these are some credible outlets. I do think that Alphonso Davies will ultimately end up joining Real Madrid. But to be honest, I don't think a deal officially gets announced until the end of the season. I think if you're Alphonso Davies, you would be an idiot to sign a pre-contract with Real Madrid in January and then still have to play the rest of the season with Bayern Munich. Those fans are going to cook you every single day because they're going to be pissed off. So, yeah, if I was a player and if I wanted to leave on a free, I'm not signing a pre-contract with anybody until the end of the season, right? Because if it's now publicly known that you are leaving for Real Madrid at the end of the season, it's not going to be a good second half for you. But yeah, look, Real Madrid definitely do need to rework that back line, right? There needs to be major additions to this back line come the summer, right? Our back line is just so depleted. All these injuries that we have, we need to sign some center backs. We also need a right back. Left back is something that we should be looking at. And it looks like Alphonso Davies is the answer that the club feel like is needed. So let me know what you guys think about Alphonso Davies joining Real Madrid, possibly, right? Nothing is confirmed as of yet, but I think we can all make an educated guess that this deal is something that will happen. One of the most explosive players in the world. He had a lot of interest from some teams in England, and I think there's still going to be a lot of interest, right? I know that the teams in the Prem are going to be able to offer him a lot more money than what Real Madrid may be willing to offer him. But I feel like he does want this move. But look, it's not over yet, all right? I do like Alphonso Davies. I do worry about him defensively, but I think he'll do a good job, right? I know that he's linked to Barcelona as well, like Manchester United, Chelsea. But I need to know what you guys think, right? Alphonso Davies, left back. You can also play him in the midfield. And as I brought up earlier with him playing left wing against us and scoring a banger, you can play him on the left wing as well, right? Just up and down that left side of the team. Alphonso Davies can do a job at most of those positions. But I do want to see him get better defensively because in these big games, right, I don't need you out there being a liability, especially with the way that we sometimes start off matches real slow, right? So I think Alphonso Davies, if he gets a little bit better defensively, perfect left back because he can already do everything else that you would want. But again, just like a Hakimi, like a Trent, right? Like a Jeremy Frimpong, like a Yan Kuto, just guys of that ilk, right? They are better going forward. That's what makes them world-class players, is what they offer you with the ball in attack. Now, as I said, on a free, I'll take it. Bayern Munich, they could have got some money for him in the summer, but they didn't want to negotiate. Their pride was hurt. So now you'll lose him for nothing, right? He's still not my first choice. I would prefer Vardiol, right, at Man City. I think Vardiol is the best left back in the world. He is arguably the most complete defender in the world. But a deal for him would damn near be impossible. It costs too much money, and he has a long contract at Man City. So Alphonso Davies, I don't mind. Nice little change of pace to Ferland Mendy. Definitely offers you something different in your team, makes you a lot more dangerous as well. And with him on the left wing, right, we know Ferland Mendy, him going forward and overlapping is not really something that he's the best at. So depends on what game plan you want to run. You can start either one of them. I don't mind that, right? So let's see what happens. I don't even know what system we'll be running next season because I don't even know who our manager will be. But I do have to rate this deal because you did not have to pay anything for him to get him from Bayern Munich, right? You just got to agree the personal deals and like the signing on bonus and things like that. But get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Alphonso Davies possibly joining Real Madrid, right? Would he be your first choice at left back? He's free. And I think that's what the club really care about. And he does have a high profile, right? He's won Champions League. He's won a bunch of trophies at Bayern Munich. And he does play for Canada. And even for Canada, this guy plays on the wing. So, I mean, he's versatile. Free, fits the profile. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out.